Hello, students. Welcome back. I hope you all are fit and fine at your home. Today, we will be learning chapter 9, that is, animals living and surviving. In this chapter, we will see how animals live and survive. Okay. In the natural world, a plant or an animal adapts or changes itself to suit its surroundings. This happens over hundreds and thousands of years. This process of changing to suit the surroundings is called adaptation. Okay? And living things that are able to adapt themselves to their surroundings, they survive. Those that cannot adapt, they die. So first topic of the chapter is adaptations to environment. Okay, the natural home of an animal is called its habitat. As you live in your home, this that is a habitat for you. So the natural home of an animal is called is its habitat. Animals can be grouped according to their habitat as terrestrial animals, aquatic animals, amphibians, aerial animals, and arboreal animals. So, first category is terrestrial animals. Animals like horses, lions, camels, they live on land. The animals, those live on land, are called terrestrial animals. Such animals have legs to move and lungs to breathe. They also have well developed sense organs and a nervous system in order to sense the changes in their surroundings. So, animals like snakes, they don't have legs, so they have plates or scales that help them crawl. And animals like polar bear, they live in cold region, so they have fur on their body which keeps them warm. Okay, and they have fat under the skin that to be used as food in winter. Now animals like camel, which lives in desert, they don't have so many hairs on their body, but their skin is thick. Okay, so it protects them from heat of the sun. Some animals like lizards and frogs, they sleep for several months to protect themselves from cold, and this process is called hibernation. As you must have seen, the lizards at your home, they can be seen in the summer season, but in winter season some of the only few lizards you can see at your home. So it means they went for the process called hibernation. Okay, they go for a long sleep for several months to protect themselves from cold, and this process is called hibernation. Next topic is aquatic animals. Animals that live in water are called aquatic animals. Fishes, snails, turtles, and crabs, they are some of the aquatic animals. Such animals have fins or limbs suited for swimming in water. The webbed feet of a duck and the pedal like flippers of a turtle help them to push back water while swimming. Fishes and crabs, they have gills that help them to breathe in water. Next category is amphibians, animals that can live on both on land and in water are called amphibians. Some amphibians can be frog, toads, salamanders, and newts. They have limbs that help them in swimming. A moist skin help them to breathe in water, and they have lungs to breathe on land. As you know about a frog, when a frog is inside water, it uses its moist skin to breathe, and when the frog is outside the water, means on land, it uses its lungs to breathe. So these animals live both on land and in water. They can live on both land and water. Next category is aerial animals. Animals that fly in air are called aerial animals. These animals have wings to fly. Most birds and insects can fly. These bats are the only mammal that can fly. And animals which fly have a light body because of light bones and feathers. Their bones are light and their feathers and they have feathers to fly. The shape of the body is such that it can easily cut the air. Next category is arboreal animals. Some animals spend most of the time on the trees and they are called arboreal animals. For example, monkeys, tree lizards, flying squirrels, and opossums. These are some of the arboreal animals. They have claws and broad hip girdles to support their body while climbing. Okay, and a monkey's long and curly tail helps it to swing from a branch. Now, next topic is adaptations for food. Now we have just completed adaptations to environment. Now we will learn about adaptations for food. Animals eat plants or other animals. They can be classified into four groups according to the type of food they eat, and they are herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, and parasites. First category is herbivores. So, you know that plant eating animals are called herbivores. Animals like cow, goats, and giraffes, they eat plants and they have sharp biting and strong grinding teeth, and they have long and strong legs to travel long distances in search of food. Next category is carnivores. Flesh eating animals are called carnivores. They feed on flesh. Lion, tiger, dogs, they eat flesh of other animals. And they have well developed tearing teeth, okay, to tear the flesh. Flesh eating birds like eagles and vultures, they have sharp beaks and claws to catch their other animals and to tear their flesh. Next category is omnivores. Animals that eat both plants and animals are called omnivores. Bears, crows, and cockroaches, these are some of the omnivores. And the human also belong to this category, as we can feed on both plants and other animals. Next category is parasites. Some animals live on or inside the bodies. Some animals live on the bodies of other animals and some live inside the bodies of other animals. These animals are called parasites. The animal on which the parasite depend for their food are called hosts. For example, mosquitoes, leeches, hookworms, and bugs, these are parasites. They have a sucker and a sucking tube to suck blood from their host. For example, if we take the example of a mosquito, so mosquito is a parasite and it depends on human for its food, like it suck the blood of any person or any human. So the person for mosquito will be the host, because mosquito is getting the food from the human. So mosquito is the parasite and human is the host. Next category is adaptations for protection. How animals adapt themselves to protect from their enemies. It is very important for animals to protect themselves and live long enough to reproduce. So now let's see the three most common ways by which animals save themselves from being eaten up by other animals. First is to move fast enough. As fishes, houseflies, and frogs, they move fast enough to escape from their enemies. Next is too big to be eaten. As whales, elephants, and hippopotamus, they are big to be eaten by other animals, so they are being protected. Okay, they protect themselves. And some animals, they merge or mix with their surroundings, as zebras, tigers, leopards, they have stripes or spots on their bodies which help them to merge or mix with the surrounding, and this is called camouflage. Okay, this process of hiding or merging with the surrounding is called camouflage. As you can see in polar regions, in the picture you can see the Arctic foxes have brown coats in summer but grow white fur in winter. When the winter season comes, so the white fur grows on the body of Arctic foxes, but in summer season they have brown fur on them, and their color merges with the surroundings and it becomes difficult to spot them. Next, so thus they keep themselves safe from their enemies. Next is the insects like stick insect and leaf insects look like, as the name suggests, as stick insect like look like a stick and leaf insect look like a leaf, as you can see in the picture. Okay, and this is the way they merge with their surroundings and they protect themselves or they save themselves from their enemies. Okay. So this was the last topic. In this chapter, we have learned three kinds of adaptation which is being adapted by the animals. First is adaptation to environment. Second is adaptation for food. And third was adaptations for protection. Now let's see what all things we have learned today. In the natural world, a plant or an animal adapts or changes itself to suit its surroundings. Animals can be grouped according to their habitat as terrestrial, aquatic, amphibian, aerial and arboreal. And animals can be grouped as herbivores, carnivores, omnivores and parasites according to their food habits. And for fast movement, large sizes and merging with the surroundings are the three common ways by which animals protect themselves from their enemies. So now we have completed the chapter. I hope you all are completing the question answers and assignment in the science notebook, and you can complete the exercises in the textbook. You can find the assignment, question answers and exercises of this chapter in the description box. Till the time, stay at home, study at home, take care of yourself. Thank you.